How to have your franchise quarterback demand a trade in 5 easy steps. 1. Trade away DeAndre Hopkins, maybe the best wide receiver in the league. 2. Fire 2 GMs in 2 years. 3. Go 4-12 in the same season your QB led the league in passing yards. 4. Tell Deshaun Watson you want his input on the next coach and GM. 5. Do not listen to Deshaun Watson's input at all, and instead listen to and promote the chaplain. Deshaun Watson doesn't seem like an unreasonable guy, just a guy who wants their front office to have experience with front office stuff instead of experience with regional stand-up comedy.
You go up to New York, and you walk in the stadium, and as soon as you walk in the stadium, what you looking at?
Deshaun Watson so far has been persistent. First, he privately demanded a trade from the Texans. The Texans said their phone doesn't work. Then he publicly demanded a trade from the Texans. The Texans set their phone on fire. If this goes into the 2021 season, it will be surprising if Watson will report to training camp after publicly demanding a trade and everyone in his inner circle saying he is done. And the Texans do have a little leverage. Watson just signed an extension, he's under contract for 5 more years, so he will be a free agent in the year 2026. On top of that, the Texans could franchise tag him for 3 more years if they really wanted to, essentially forcing in it's either us or it's no one situation like a dramatic ex-girlfriend would do. If the Texans did do this, it would be a media disaster and good luck trying to get any free agent to come to your team or any player to re-sign with your team if that's how you treat your franchise quarterback. So in some ways, trading him may be the most logical way forward for the Houston Texans. A Texans insider has already said 5 teams have called them to see what it would take for Watson, and the Texans aren't even talking about it. Suppress your emotions, that's the front office motto in 2021. The insider did not say which teams called, but said that the Washington football team was not on the list, so we can cross that one off. Here are the most likely potential suitors for Deshaun. These suitors would have their best offer if they could get strong draft capital and a potential quarterback back for Deshaun. Watson also has a no trade clause in his contract, meaning if he does get traded anywhere, he could veto it if he really wanted to. 1. The New York Jets. Deshaun has said he would like to play for the Jets head coach Robert Saleh, and reports say that the Jets are one of his top destinations. The Jets look like they're going to need a lot of talent to fill out the roster, but it doesn't seem like Watson minds. He led the league in passing yards, and his best receiver Will Fuller was on banned prescription medications and got suspended after 11 games. The trade load coming back would have to include the number 2 overall pick, which as of right now is to be determined who that would be. In another potential rebuilding move, I imagine the Texans could trade Deshaun Watson to the Jets for multiple first rounders, Sam Darnold, and then flip the number 2 overall pick for perhaps multiple high draft picks if a team lower in the draft wanted Justin Fields or the BYU guy, making the Texans able to fill out their roster even more if they chose this route. Now that is a big load. Or you could just take Justin Fields. I've heard the most untradeable part of a franchise is a franchise quarterback. That is, unless a former Patriots chaplain hijacks your team and your franchise quarterback hates him, then he's tradable. 2. The Miami Dolphins. Miami also has a great package for the Texans, and they will likely be able to whip out their package and give it right to them. They have the number 5 pick from last year's draft, Tua, still young and tons of potential, and the Dolphins have 3 of the top 36 picks in the 2021 draft. This would be the most embarrassing move for the Texans as they'd be trading back for their own pick. In 2019, the Texans traded for lineman Laramie Tunsil and included their first round 2021 pick, but they didn't know it'd be the number 3 pick in the draft at the time. So trading for their own pick back would be pretty awkward for them. Reports say that the Dolphins are actually the team Watson hopes to go to. Oh, reports, why are you all so different? The Dolphins are already a solid team with a culture of hustlers thanks to coach Brian Flores, meaning they could give up future draft capital and not sacrifice Deshaun's chances of winning either. Number 3, the San Francisco 49ers. The Niners have the most established quarterback who would need the least amount of time to get up and going with Jimmy Garoppolo. That has to be a plus for the Texans, and they did end up with the number 12 pick in the draft this year. If they did get Watson, you would have to imagine their future first rounders would be much lower in the draft, making this package less valuable with draft capital than others. but it would give them perhaps the least amount of risk if they're able to get Jimmy G at quarterback. This brings up another problem. I don't think there's any porn stars in Houston for Jimmy. The Niners are under 2 years removed from the Super Bowl and clearly have a roster that could go back there if Deshaun Watson is a quarterback. It is for this reason that reports say San Francisco is at the top of Deshaun Watson's requested teams to be traded to. Oh, reports. Number 4, the Carolina Panthers. Homecoming for Deshaun, almost. The Clemson fans already love him down there. The whole Carolinas will love him if he comes to the Panthers. The Panthers have the number 8 overall pick, touchdown Teddy, and all of their upcoming first or second round picks they can throw in for Deshaun. Pairing him with Christian McCaffrey and some of those speedy receivers in Carolina could make the offense one of the most fun in the league. Number 5, the Chicago Bears. Don't underestimate how desperate the Bears are is the common report that's constantly circling. They're dying to give away draft picks for an actually good QB, which could make them an exciting team if they were able to add Deshaun or Russell Wilson. This is really shaping up though to be a potentially awful offseason for Bears fans. Not only are they on the list for Russell Wilson, but they are also going to try to make a run for Deshaun Watson, and they might end up with Nick Foles. ESPN reports that the Bears have a massive package to give to the Texans, and that the Texans may not want to get rid of their man and take the package, but they may have to. Coach Matt Nagy might be one of the more awkward fits for Deshaun, but more than likely it would work out because it's Deshaun Watson. Number 6, the Denver Broncos, the last team that is consistently in trade talks and trade rumors. The Denver GM has said they are, quote, going to be aggressive and we're going to be in every deal, end quote. Reports say Deshaun is interested in going to Denver. Reports. They do have Drew Lock, who can definitely hold a football and probably even turn around and hand it off, but their package is going to be full of draft capital. The Broncos are a competitive roster too, even though their record hasn't reflected it lately, with Justin Simmons and Bradley Chubb as Pro Bowlers on the field on defense, and on the flip side having Jerry Jeudy and Courtland Sutton as your receivers. The Broncos could be in the playoff mix immediately if they have Watson as well. NFL teams are leaving trade offers on the Texans' voicemail as the Houston front office is still in the first stage of grief, denial. They are denying any trade talks and anything that has to do with it, including talking to anybody. Well, the last stage of grief is acceptance, and who knows when the Texans front office will get there. Could be before the draft, could be after. If it does go after the draft, the teams with the stronger quarterback will probably have a bigger package for the Texans. Teams like San Francisco, maybe even the Jets depending on what they do, or maybe Miami depending how they feel about Tua. The betting odds for Deshaun Watson's team in 2021 is led by the Texans. But after that, Vegas sees it as a 3-way tie with the Panthers, Bears, and Broncos right after, and the Dolphins and 49ers on the next tier. In my view, the best package for the Texans that will be out there is from the Miami Dolphins. You can still see what you have with Tua, who is still a top 5 pick, and then have 3 of the top 36 draft picks and probably another 1 or 2 future firsts. That seems like it'd be the most talent coming back your way, but if they don't like Tua, that could change things. Where do you think makes the most sense? Let me know in the comments, and for the real reason Deshaun wants to be traded, check out the video on the screen.